Hello everyone, welcome to Sharmit. In this session, we are going to take another very important example related to reactive form in Angular, where we will see how to use nested form group in Angular application. I'm sure you know about the meaning. You know the meaning of term nested, because you might have heard about nested if, nested for loop, nested loops, right? So similarly, we also have nested form group, which is nothing but a form group inside a form group. So if we are utilizing one form group inside another form group, then that kind of thing is called the nested form group. Okay. So by the end of this session, you will be able to understand how to implement nested form group in Angular, what is the syntax or structure that we are supposed to follow, and all the basic things that we need to take care while defining nested form group in component.ts file. Okay. But before we proceed further with this session, I would like to recommend you to please go and check out the previously released session first, because they all are in proper sequence and sync. So if you follow it sequentially, then it would be much more easier for you to understand the ongoing topic, because for time being, we are just mainly focusing on how to use reactive form in Angular for nested form group. Okay. And for the detailed content, you can also refer the Sharmit digital coursebook, which is freely available in the description. There you will find more than 3000 plus free resources, which is available in Hindi or English, both languages. So as per your convenience, you can consume it. Okay. All right. So currently we are in app.component.html file, where we have mentioned two headings. First is Angular course by Sharmit, and the second one is reactive form in Angular nested form group. After that, we have added two horizontal rows. So whatever form we will design will come on in between these two horizontal rows. Although it is not mandatory, but just to show it properly on the browser, we are using it. Okay. Now, before we design the form, we should know the requirement. And as per the requirement, we should add the logic in component.ts file. So requirement is very simple. We want to create a form where we have one name and two address field, that is city and pin. And to design this thing, we can consider there are two groups, first group and second group. Where in second group we will mention the thing that is address means city and pin number. Okay. So I think now you have the idea of the fields that we are going to create. So we will simply go to app.component.ts file. Here we will define the required thing. So firstly, I will write here reactive form module. So this is imported, and I'm sure like you know that this is the first and very important thing when you are designing the reactive form module. After that, we can expand this class here, and in between this class brackets, we will define the entire form. Okay. So to define this form, you need to just simply specify the first form group name, that is user data, equal the new form group, enter. So when I press enter, it automatically added this form group here. That means it is imported. Now we will use opening closing parenthesis, opening closing curly braces, just expand this thing, and here you will define all the things, like firstly the name, where we will mention name with form control. So form control, and opening closing parenthesis, curly braces, single quote, not curly braces, single quote, then a comma, and then we will define the second form group name, that is for address. So just write address colon new form group. This is very important. Why? Because you can see the difference. Here we are not using equal, we are using colon, because it's inside another form group, right? And here we will define firstly the city, again form control, so new form control, opening closing parenthesis, default value is blank. If you want to set any default value, you can set, but for now I'll just keep it as blank. Then pin, new form control, and opening closing parenthesis, not curly braces, quotes, and just simply save it. So once I press Ctrl S, it automatically added the required commas and semicolon, but because we are using editor, but make sure that you add it manually, otherwise it will cause errors. Okay, so now if you look at this code carefully, you will find that we have multiple groups here, right? The first group is for the user data, where we have added this user data. First field for user data is name, and inside this user data we have another form group. So this is one form group, this is another form group, which means form group inside a form group, which is called nested form group. And don't get confused, like you can also add multiple form group, not only these one. Like if you want to add 5 form group, let's say, and inside that 5 form group you want to add more, so yeah, you can do that. You can just simply follow the structure in the same way, and it will add form group inside a form group, and it will create a nested form group. Okay, so now we have 2 form group, one is on line number 12 and one is on line number 16. Okay, now what we will do, like once this logic is ready, we can add the HTML design. So for that you can go to app.component.html. Here you can expand it and just simply write here form. In form we will mention, here you will mention form name and all other basic thing. So first label right here form group, and here in form group we will mention the name of the form group, which is nothing but a user data. Okay, then we will write here ng submit, because we want to submit the form also. So you can write here submit data, although we have not added this method, so let's quickly add this, otherwise it will be remaining. Okay, so here I will write submit data, which is a very simple method. We will just simply add one console.log here. So console.log, opening closing parenthesis. Inside of this we will have single quote, and in between single quote we will write a simple message, that is this dot user data dot value. Okay, and then you can save it. So what this method will do, it will just simply log it on console with the values. Now you can see we have this submit method, and after this submit method we will define the other required stuff. Let's start with the label itself. So first label is for the name. I will write name here. Then for input field, in input field we will mention type as text. Then we will write here form control name, then equal name, and then we will mention the second label, which is nothing but for a okay, instead of writing label here, let's add a div so that you can clearly see. So I will write here div. In this div we will write here form control, not form control, very important thing. Okay, this time you need to write here form group name, where we will mention address. Okay, then we will add here label. In label we will mention city. Now you can add a label for the city, but remember this is a form group name, not a form control name. Okay, then we will add an input field. In input field we will mention type as text, and form control name. Here we will mention form control name, which is nothing but a city. Okay, after this we will add the second label. So I will just add here the next label. In this label we will mention pin, because this is for pin code. Input field, here I will mention type as number, because I'm sure that I'm going to accept a number here. For the pin code we need number, right? And then you can write form control name for the pin. Okay, so this thing is ready. Now we need to add one button, of course. So after this div you can add a button, and this button will help us to submit the data. So we can name it as submit, and here also we will mention type as submit. So this form is completely ready. Now let's run this application to see if it is providing the required values in console or not. So ng-serve -open, it will wait for few seconds, then it will show you the output in the browser screen. There we will verify the output. So you can see we have one main heading, that is Angular course by Sharmit. Then we have second heading, reactive form in Angular, nested form group. Then we have one label for name, city, pin with their input field and submit button. I'll do right click on inspect, go to console. I'll fill the data ABC XYZ, and remember you can also put the validation. I'm not applying right now because I'm just focusing on the nested form group, but whatever validation we have discussed previously, you can add it here. The moment when I submit, you will see that object is received, where we have one address, city and pin, and also the name. And this is exactly what we are looking for. Clear? So I hope this session is clear to all of you, where we learned how to implement nested form group in Angular Reactive Form. In the next session, we will discuss few more things. So thank you for watching Sharmit.